esteemed guests, our distinguished thought leaders, future trailblazers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th Impact Summit 2023, Stronger Than Ever. We are here not just as participants, but as architects of our destiny, united by our common vision.
It's the Philippine Advocates for Consultants and Trainers Incorporated, or in short, we call ourselves PAC. We don't want to just be perceived as an association. We want to be more than that. We want to be a family. We want to be a community. We are not an association. We are going to be an advocacy.
We created the framework GPS. Simple lang, GPS to help you navigate. You set your goals, you set your priorities, and you set your schedule based on those priorities.
It's really about mindset. Speaking is really about loving the audience, serving the audience. So if you ask yourself the right questions, how can I serve the audience? How can I love the audience? So that will take a lot of preparation.
Mahirap i-unify ang mga taong lahat gustong maging leader. Pero ako sinasabi ko, well, actually, before you could be a leader, you must first need to be a good follower.
We are committed to transcend boundaries, ignite possibilities, and set the stage for a future where each of us will not just be participants, but be a force to reckon with.
Kasi when you're a speaker, you are an authority. Ibig sabihin, may pagkakataon ka, hindi lang magbenta, ha? You wanna provide, tama ba? You wanna provide more value because that will serve them better.
Kung ano yung kaya mong ibigay ng libre, dun ka maaaring kumita ng malaki. When you volunteer, you develop something na hindi mo magagawa kapag hindi ka nag-volunteer. Ang tanongin mo muna sa sarili, how can I be of service? How can I be of help?
PAC. It's not merely an acronym. Kasunduan na hindi tayo mag-aaway-away. Hindi tayo maghihilang pababa. The more unified we are, the stronger the industry is.
So never ever underestimate the power of training because it can give you not only the platform but the authority and expertise that you need. Ang kailangan lang, authentic ka.
This is the future now. Today is the future we imagined yesterday.
Yes, good evening to everyone. Hi, this is my first time hosting solo, but our mentor Myron will be coming soon. Very good. Yes, and he entrusted me to do this. So, Coach Freddie, this is for you. This is for you also, Mentor Myron, and for all my pack uh, family members, and of course, all of you who are watching. And we're live now on Facebook and YouTube accounts of Philippine Advocates for Consultants and Trainers. This is Coach Jet Ramos, um, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all who have been watching Usapang PACTners Overload for the past 2 months. Yes, almost 2 months to be exact. And our guest for tonight is a published author, speaker, and trainer. And he is also known as one who gives a listening ear to people. And he is also an accomplished author. He has published 10 books so far. One of them is the award winning The Honeymoon Never Ends. And he also writes a Sunday column for the Philippine Star entitled Career Roadmap. That's his column. Yes, and he has been doing it for 9 years and counting. And he has been a contributor to different magazines and periodicals such as Evangelicals Today, Business Mirror, People's Journal, People's Tonight, Light Touch, MOMS, and Family Wise. He's also a speaker and he talks about spirituality, relationships, communication, and other similar topics. And his books are available on Amazon Kindle, Anvil Publishing, Church Strengthening Ministry Incorporated, and OMF Literature. And he's also a sought after speaker on workplace communication and other similar topics. Yes, he also teaches people how to write books. Ladies and gentlemen, our partners, let us welcome no other than the esteemed yet very humble Mr. Nelson D, or Coach Nelson to all of you. Again, to all of you, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and that's it. And please do share the live video today because we're going to learn from someone who is very well versed in what he does, but he's yet he's humble and he knows how to put his feet on the ground. Again, our coach Nelson D. Good evening po sa inyo.
Hello and good evening, Coach Jet, and hello, fellow partners and all our friends. And regards also to Coach Ferdy, and also Mentor Mine. Hopefully, you can join us very soon. And thank you. The honors all mine, Coach Jet, to be in this show.
Yes, I'm actually the pinch hitter for tonight. I usually act as support, but this time I'm really enthused to have met you finally. Although online we've been friends for a year or so,
Oh,
and I'm glad to meet you at least online. Yeah, I hope to
yeah.
meet you in the flesh very soon.
Oh, we should have a get together along with the other thought leaders of the Philippines. Thanks for the collaborative work of Mentor Myron.
Yes, and he's a trailblazer indeed, and because of him, I've been inspired to tread the same path as he's treading right now. And although I'm a teacher by profession, I practice my profession. I'm learning a lot from everyone, and well, many people are wanting to watch you. They're saying hello, such as Coach Dina Loomis and many others.
Yeah, we can all learn from each other. In fact, I can learn a lot from you too.
Yeah, thank you so much. And And my friends, if you got any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to type them in, and I'm going to flash them all. And if you have any questions for Coach Nelson, if you want to get him as a speaker or have him talk about writing a book or any other topic that he knows, please do not hesitate to message him through this live so that he would be able to read your every message. Yes, and for starters, I would like to ask you. Yes, actually, this is okay. So, on behalf of Coach Ferdy and Coach Myron, I would like to ask you first about uh, your beginnings as a professional in your field, as an expert. Please tell us more about it.
Thank you very much, Coach Jet. And by the way, to add to the generous introduction, it's not just book writing. I also do executive coaching and transformative coaching. Aside from that, I
Wow.
also into L&D. I teach things like engineering. Okay, I also teach things like critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making, emotional intelligence, coaching, and communications. In fact, I help. One of my passions is to help technical people like me from being introvert to become more of an extrovert, to communicate well, both orally or in terms of the written word. And that's where I branch out. Okay, it's not just the book writing thing, the author thing, backlisting thing. I want to leave a legacy. I am 62, looking 52. And so now I'm in legacy mode. And I like to share to other people what I've gone through in my 40 years of experience in the corporate world, all those other things about spirituality, all those things about relationship, and of course, being a much better professional.
Wow. Yes, I'm excited to learn more from you tonight, as well as our other viewers. So sa lahat ng mga nanonood po, please do not hesitate to share our live because we will be learning a lot from our guest, Coach Nelson D. Ano po ba yung mga beginnings ninyo as a professional? Kwento niyo po. And pwede rin po yung mga struggles ninyo, yung mga realizations nyo at iba pa po. Free-flowing po tayo. Marami tayong matututunan mula sa inyo.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this. Okay, now, Coach Jet, would you believe I'm an only child and I'm an introvert
Whoa.
and I am a nerd. In fact, when I was growing up, okay, way back there in Nagtahan, while other people in the neighborhood, the kids were playing basketball, I was just reading DC comic books. Okay, so American comic books, sorry, people who are into Stan Lee, I prefer DC comics, and that led to my proficiency in English. And then after that, I love math and science, nerdy. So I chose chemical engineering. But remember, I was so shy, only child and all that. So my struggle was in terms of dealing with people. I prefer jobs where it could be solo or let's say doing things with concepts, numbers, or equipment. But I had to go into the realm of people relations. And that's my growth. And I learned here and there how to go out of a shell. And I know there are many people out there, especially the technical field, who want to express themselves but don't know how. They have imposter syndrome, for example. They don't know how to articulate ideas, let alone sell themselves. And that's what I do now. So that's my journey in a nutshell. And I'm free to also elaborate if you want to know more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pwede po kayo mag-elaborate, no problem. That would be great.
Yeah. One of the things I've learned is that you cannot escape dealing with people. And for some people, it may be a painful process. You have to go out of yourself. What helped me a lot was that when people do good things for me, it expands my ability to empathize. It expands my ability to give back. And so that's where the muscles of people relationship grow. And yeah, being good with people is a muscle which you have to keep exercising. And there are exercises along the way. I deal with introverts, people who remain individual contributors in thinking, even though they're now leading a team. So I coach people on that one. In fact, some of my clients in the coaching world are those people that super technical, finance, chemistry, and all that. And they struggle in terms of how to lead people. So I had to tell them before you're doing your work, but now you have to do your work through those people. And so a whole new set of skill set, which I had to learn somewhat the hard way. I started as an engineer, solo flight, so to speak. Then as I get to go into marketing, and you cannot escape talking to customers and also talking to, let's say, the plant people and the customers, so they are coordinated. Then I go into my last job before I retire was to be a plant manager. I was assistant vice president of this affiliate of Asia Brewery. I ran two factories, about 200 people under me, 8 direct reports. So really, that's my journey. It's really to from introvert to becoming, let's say, a manufacturing executive. And now that I'm retired, like I said, I want to share my knowledge, coach people, train people, and then hopefully people like me who are similarly introverted, being afraid to be articulate, we can help them in that journey. Because if you are a good communicator, you can be a great leader.
Wow. And very impressive journey niya. You ran two factories, and also you worked your way to the top. But I would like to know, what were your struggles in dealing initially with different kinds of personalities, especially at work? Because there are times when we feel that way. Sometimes I feel that way. Sometimes naliliit ako. I admit that.
Yeah, yeah. We have it all the time. It all boils down to your self-talk, your self-perception. So one of the things I learned myself is to be aware what are my internal barriers. I would say, oh, I'm just a rookie. This guy is a PhD or something, so I feel intimidated. Okay. And so it took a while for me to have this flip in my mental thinking to the point that I am somebody of my inherent worth. I'm a child of God. And therefore, even though you are, let's say, a Caucasian or you have a PhD, you're very accomplished, I have something to contribute. I can help you. So notice the inward focus becomes outward focus. And all your qualms, maybe the fear of offending the person, fear that you're going to say something wrong, be judged, those things tend to disappear as long as you are more thinking about the benefit of the other guy.
Yeah, and I would also like to know, Tito, yung how, as an introvert, how did you deal initially with major struggles in life, lalo na sa career at saka kahit sa personal life?
Okay. One of the first epiphany I had was introversion does not necessarily mean you're shy. For some people, that may be a surprise because the proper definition of being introvert is that you recharge your energies by being alone. But you don't have to be a wallflower. You don't have to be sitting in a corner and be quiet. You can actually switch on, okay? Let's say play the actor of a very gregarious person and then deal with people, connect with them, and then when it's over, then you can go back to your nook and recharge. Read a book, chill, have a warm cup of tea, like what I'm doing now. Okay, and that's the secret. So it's like you do not let perceptions of being an introvert stop you. It's a matter of switching your social batteries and then be more engaging. And here's the secret. I learned it in coaching also. You'll be curious about other people, not to be curious in the sake of being chismoso, okay? But you're interested. Yeah. Be curious. There's so many marites already in the world. So you are curious, you're interested in them. You want to know their background. You want to know what turns them on. Okay, you want to know. It's a great tip. You may want to ask people. Let's say small talk. What do you love doing in your spare time? Okay, because if you ask them what you do, if they're jobless, well, it's a bit of a awkwardness. Okay? But if you
Yeah.
show interest in people, that brings you out of your shell, and chances are the other people would love to talk about themselves, and then you connect, and you'll be known as a great people person, even though they're doing most of the talking.
Ayun. Nako. I realized, Tito Nelson, that I'm an introvert. Yeah. Before, I did not want to admit it, but a friend told me I was a little confused. But now I realize she's right. Yeah. I'm an introvert. Yeah. Sometimes I love being alone. Sometimes I want to recharge. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong about it after all. So kaya sa mga estudyante ko, mga nanonood dyan, mga introvert, ay, hindi kayo nag-iisa. Ha? And hindi kayo nag-iisa, pero mag-ano kayo. Huwag kayong mga, pero huwag kayong tago na tago, ha? Ilabas ang mga ganda. Ilabas ang mga pagkagwapo, ha? Kasi this world is, this world is fun. And just, wala, yun. Kailangan, ilabas. Ilabas. Basta maligo. Pag hindi naliligo, ay, huwag kayo lumabas. Ganon. Yes, and about, ano pala, Tito? About also executive coaching and transformative coaching. Yeah, I have heard of these terms, but I'm not really well acquainted with these. I'm not well versed. Could you please tell all of us here what the differences are between the two, and whom you cater to and what you usually do?
Okay, that's a great question. Thank you for that. Executive coaching is when you coach high potential people. It can be, let's say, a rising executive or somebody who's, let's say, in management, where you see potential for him to go much higher. So you deal with people who are committed to grow, committed to learn, and not afraid to do the hard work of reflecting where they are, planning where to want to go, and do the steps how to get there. Transformative coaching is a bit different because have you heard of the GROW model, Coach Jet? GROW,
Not
goal,
yet po.
reality.
Honestly, not.
Okay. The GROW model is a very popular coaching method if you want to enhance performance. G is goal, R is reality, O is options, W is way forward. So, for example, I want to be a communicator. That's my goal. Reality is that I stutter and stammer. I'm so shy. Okay, I would rather not talk. I have sweaty palms and all that. Options would be you may want to enroll in a Toastmasters course. You want to, let's say, be trained by some guy out there who's good in public speaking, or immerse yourself by actually giving a talk to your peers. And then W is you decide on a plan of action and you go forward. The problem there is this, is that it tends to solve the problem but does not exactly deal with the person. And that's where transformative coaching comes in. In coaching terms, it's not just the what, your ability to speak, it's the who you are as a speaker. I'll give you an example. I have clients wherein they want to become better speakers,
Sure.
and we can always give them all those training. You do eye contact, you modulate your voice, okay, you body language, but their
All
insecurity can
right.
be there. Yeah, right. You know the thing. After all the webinars, all the training, they are still stumbling here and there. So you deal with the person itself. So we ask questions like this: what is holding you back from being a better speaker? And then they will say something like, I'm afraid of being judged. And then we ask them, so what's the evidence of you being judged? Oh, it's nobody's judging me. People, they want me to succeed and they're friendly. And so therefore we switch. We challenge the assumption, which are holding you back, and then we flip. So what will help you become a better speaker? And then I have clients say something like, I have something to say. I have I'm very supportive of other people. It's my gift to them. And lo and behold, confidence is building up for them as a person who will do public speaking. So that's the transformative side. It's not just what to do, but also doing some transformation, so to speak, change of mindset, change of emotions, change of perception for you to become that different person towards your goal.
So it doesn't really mean that you have to focus on all the possible issues, but rather focus on specific issues. Am I right?
It's
Oh, good evening. Okay,
hello,
Coach Bev.
Beverly.
Hi.
Good evening.
So you mean to say that we focus on focus on what a person specifies. For example, ako, I'm afraid of being judged because sometimes I stutter.
Yeah, right. And so there are two ways to work about it. One is to give them training. Maybe you go to a speech clinic, maybe, okay, to address your stutter. Some people, they have problems with straight language. They have us, they I think you know that. So for that, usually we give tips like, the next time you're tempted to say
Okay, there's
be quiet, silence, and speak more slowly, because sometimes we speak faster than we think. And then if we don't know what will the next word be, then we say So that's one technique. The other things like this, you then look at the person. So what if you're judged? What is it about it that makes you afraid of it? Because I want people to respect me. That's one example. And so now we are on a creative mode. So what will help you be a public speaker in a way that people will respect you? Notice, we're no longer talking about a problem. We're not anymore focused on your stuttering or your, let's say, your shyness or your being judged. We are now thinking on a positive frame, and now we create solutions. Oh, what will help me is to be prepared. Or what will help me is to look at the audience in a positive way. These are not people who are hostile. They're waiting for me to make a mistake. But these people, the audience, are my friends. I had that actually. I had clients who then see their clients in a brand new way. Remember, these audiences love you. You love them back. They're your friends. They want to applaud you, and therefore, hey. And remember, the brain can visualize success even if it's going to be in a future state. And all the more, they develop the confidence as speakers. The same thing can be true if you're, let's say, you want to be a problem solver, you want to be a team leader. There are many applications, but the concept is like this: you deal with the person, not just with the problem.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Napansin ko kasi po, Tito Nelson, honestly, as you were talking, I realized that as a college teacher, I have been focusing more on the issues, not the persons. Well, due to lack of time, I admit. But can can the transformative coaching strategies be adapted into classroom use,
Yes and no.
especially in kami? Yeah,
Yes and no.
applicable.
Usually, yeah, go on, please.
Applicable po ba kahit na, lalo na pag konti lang kami, kunwari, mga 10 kami, kaya alam mga students ko, 40, 50, 60.
Okay, that's a great project to do. Yes and no,
Yeah.
in a sense that there are techniques of transformative coaching where it's best one on one because confidentiality will be involved. You want to create trust and safety because you want the coachee, the other guy, to open up. And sometimes they would rather have it in private, just the two of you. However, there are also techniques which we call team coaching, assuming all the people that can, but I think 30, 40 is so much already. So let's say 5, 6, 8. And if they are comfortable with each other and they all agree, what they talk about remains in the room, you can actually deal with them, especially if it's a common issue. Okay, so for example, you deal with 8 people. Okay, why are you, let's say, late in submitting your homework? So let's talk about it. And instead of judging them, you're lazy, you don't know how to manage your time, you ask them, you listen to them, and they'll give you their answers. And who knows, there will be a common factor, and then you ask them, okay, remember, the solution does not come from you, the teacher. In coaching, the solution comes from the coachee, the other guy. So you may want to do this. You bring those people, those students together, ask them what they will be, let's say, they would like to work on. That's a polite way of saying that what they're struggling. And assuming you agree on a common topic, I want to have better grades. I want to, let's see, I want to balance my work life, my study life with my duties at home. You agree on a common topic, then you ask them what is preventing you from achieving those goals, what will be helpful for them to achieve those goals. You ask them what are their ideas. You may contribute, but bulk of the ideas come from them. The beauty is this. I think you know this. If the idea comes from you, chances are you own it and you'll stick with it, rather than the idea being imposed on you, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yes,
the
Tito.
psychology of
I
coaching.
it's the teaching them how to be independent. I should be teaching them how to be more assertive.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Kasi minsan
And
yung teacher eh.
yeah. And if I
Ay,
make a
ikaw gawin
comment,
mo ta! Gawin mo ta! Gawin mo ta! Kundi,
uh,
lagot ka sa akin.
yeah,
Di
and
ba
that's
ganun eh?
why those
Lagot ka sa
things
akin.
that's why those things will, well, they may work in a short run, but I think that fear and threat, they work in a short run, but they will not sustain itself in the long run. That's why the technique of coaching, which I do, is to create an atmosphere of psychological safety. You can say whatever you want. There's no judgment. Okay? I may not agree what you said. Let's talk about it. And then I ask you questions. I listen. That's where active listening comes in. And then I ask you for your ideas because I don't know your world. I don't know what home you're in. I don't know what kind of parents and siblings you have. I don't even know, let's say, if you have a personal problem in relationship or in health, which may affect your studies. And so those kinds which we have to listen. That's why in some cases like that, it's better one-on-one. Okay. But if you want to talk as a team, can be. But the point is, you ask them, you listen, you reflect back, and then solutions you try to get it from them because they should know better.
Ooh, ayun. Nako, Tito, kailangan mas matutunan ko talaga maging mas consultative dyan sa mga ano, lalo na mga students ko, mga adults na yan. Yung ibang mga, ay, hello nga pala kay Lynn Blanco. Lalo na yung mga
Hello,
estudyante ko,
Lynn.
mga lalaki, lalaki pa, malaki pa sa akin. Pagdamulag. Pagdamulag. Malaki pa sa akin. So, ayoko na may baby yung mga yun, laki-laki na. Marunong na nga mag-ano, marunong ka manligaw eh. Ayan. Hello nga pala. Thank you for watching, Lynn, and all the others who are watching right now. So please like and share once again this live. Ayan. And about active listening, because this is what we often forget. I'm guilty of this sometimes. And what constitutes active listening and how do we do it so that it would be a part not only of our job but also a part of our personality? Kailangan matutunan ko rin yan.
Okay. The secret of active listening is being present, being fully there for the other person, whether it's a student, it's a friend, or a client or coachee. When I say being present, is that you drop off all your distractions. Because, for example, many times we go to a meeting, we have a cell phone, right? Put that aside.
Yeah.
That's a distraction. Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
you look at the restaurants, you see
Yung mga
entire
yan,
families. Okay, so you be there, and when I say,
I'm guilty of that.
okay, also this, okay, okay, I don't know if it's
Kapatid
this,
ko
okay.
eh. Bakit ka dyan?
Yeah, and that's where, okay, by the way, side comment, it's a powerful signal if you make the gesture of switching off and say, lay it aside, because it signals to the other guy, I'm all here for you. Conversely, I read a study somewhere that if they see a cell phone between you, it drops the engagement by a certain percent. Okay, going back. So the thing is to be present. Okay, it also means that you have no mental clutter. You're not thinking about what am I having for dinner, this guy is a jerk. No, nothing like that. Okay, so you suspend judgment and you're curious. Remember, you're curious. And here's the thing, you also want to listen, to understand. Remember Stephen Covey? Listen, okay? Seek to understand, then you'll be understood. So many times when we talk to people, we think we're listening. I don't know if you have that kind of common experience. I know I do. Somebody's talking to me and I'm already formulating what I'm going to say, especially if it's an argument. Stop that, okay? Listen first, get all the information from the other guy. Then you can think about what you're going to say next. Rather than the guy's talking, I'm thinking of something else, and I tune out. And the downside is that I'm not getting all what the other person is trying to tell me. And so that destroys the communication. So active listening is rooted on being present. Your focus is on them as if just the two of you in the entire universe. I'm curious. I'm here for you. No distraction, no judgment. I want to hear your point. Then the other point is you are reflecting, you paraphrase, and one great technique is to use it sounds like. So if let's say a student says, you know, I think this subject is so hard, and then you may want to reflect back, it sounds like you want to do well in this subject. Oh yeah, I really want to do well, but I don't know how. So what's preventing you from excelling? Well, the concepts are so difficult. And then you may want, as a teacher, say, okay, what will help you to understand it? Coach, professor, it'll be helpful for me if you're to use layman's terms. Oh, then you have a solution. Then you try to boil down this complex theory, I don't know, physics or chemistry or whatever, in a more understandable way. And voila, you're helping the student, you're helping the other guy.
Yeah, ayun na. Alala ko tuloy, Tito, nag-lecture ako, sabi ko. And so, this is our lesson for today. Tapos biglang, Sir, ano yun? Ano yun? Ano yan? Sir, hindi pa ako tapos. Yung pala, Sir, may fire drill! Labas tayo! Ayun, sabi ko, Sir, pag di tayo lumabas, mapag-iwanan tayo. Ay, lumabas kami. Eh, kung di ako nakinig, hindi ano. Eh, di ko may fire talaga, hindi na ano na ako, nalitsyon na ako. Naluto na ako. Ano na ako? With herbs and spices. Hello to my student, Hanapi. Kalipa.
Hello,
Ayan, sa mga
Hanapi.
student ko. Ayan. This episode is, nako, maano tayo, matututunan natin, active listening din lalo. And matanong ko, Tito Nelson, what do you think are the reasons why some higher ups and other people they don't care to do active listening, even professionals like us? Yeah. Oh, guilty ako
Well,
minsan.
okay, let me offer some possible suggestions. One is that they were never trained
Sure.
how to do active listening. So they don't know how. Basic. They don't have a role model. Nobody did that on them. Second, they don't see the value because, for example, if I think I have all the answers, why should I listen to you? That's why I said you have to assume that you don't have all the answers. You're curious. You want to see the other guy's perspective. Maybe he has a better idea than you. And that's where now, when they see the value of active listening, then they make the effort and then they'll see the rewards thereof. So there are several reasons, but I would say two things. One, they don't know how and they don't know why I should. But if, let's say, they're trained, especially,
Mhm.
okay, there are studies also that if, let's say, the boss takes time to listen to the employee, morale goes up because the employee now feels he's heard, he's understood, he is valued, he's a person with
Right.
opinions, aspirations, and that boosts engagement.
Ayun. I realize na, Tito, sometimes I tend to be impatient. So, I really have to develop that. Ako, mahirap talaga. Sabi nga naman ni St. Francis pala, seek to understand, not to be understood always. Ayan, mga ganun. Mga ganun. Ayun. Hello nga pala kay Alenor. Ayan, nakikinig. Ito, graduate ng PCC. Oy, kumusta ka na, Alenor, ha?
Hello,
Gano,
Alenor.
maganda rin ito. And, ayun, at saka ang mga student ko si
Hello, Emerson.
Hanapi at saka si Emerson. Ayun.
Yep.
Si Hanapi napakabait nito. Si Hanapi, mga Paranaque boys. Baka naman, Becky naman. Ayun, ayun, sa pagkakataon po dito, we would also like to know more about also your book writing journey. Could you please share with us how you got into writing?
Okay. Remember, I was a nerd. Okay. And remember, I read a lot of DC comic books. So, of course, I'll be a writer. Actually, not many people know this, that I was also drawing my own comic books. When I was young, I had those dreams to become a cartoonist. or even be an artist for DC Comics, but of course, that didn't fly. So what happened was that I had a lot of things to share. And here's one thing. You talk about humble beginnings. There was a time that I was so in love with this girl. I mean, wow. This is way before, by the way, I met my wife. Okay? Her name is Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Love you. Okay. But anyway, this was with, I was
Hi,
so young
Tita
and silly.
Lucy.
Yeah. And so I was so head over heels in love with her. And then, however, despite my attempts of torpe. Okay. And so therefore what happened? She went to another guy, hunky, good looking, rich, with wheels. Okay. Good job. So of course, no brainer. She went to that person, got married, and I was so devastated. And because of that, I was writing my journals. Okay, that's where I poured out all my grief, all my anger, and that led me to compile those journals about my pain, about my anger, questioning God, and all that. And that became a book, How to Mend a Broken Heart, for example. And that led me to a new career, side career, okay, to being an author. And I also write books about, let's say, career, for example, your first job. Another one will be Soaring High, wherein you think of your career as a airplane flight, wherein you have takeoff. How do you get into the corporate workplace? How do you soar so that you'll be able to get promoted, impress the boss? And if there's turbulence, again, right? You always have difficult people, difficult bosses, difficult toxic environment. How you deal with that and the soft landing? What do you do when you arrive? Especially when, like me, you're already, let's say, retired. Okay, so I also write books about career. Please check them out. Look at my website, nelsontd.com. There's a tab wherein it's books, and that's all there. I also have books about relationships, about regrets. If you're struggling with regrets, I have that book also. And those books, two of them, landed in the 2022 top Filipino Readers' Choice Awards. So it's quite a rewarding journey because remember, Coach, when you have written a book, okay, you are immortalizing yourself,
Nakakapal.
you're preserving your legacy. The books will go where you do not go. Okay? It can go to Timbuktu for all you know. And it can last for generations, and that's my dream. And so for people who also love to write books, give me a call. I can also probably guide you, help you. But remember, okay, if you want me to coach you, mentor you, you have to do my assignments because I have, okay, this is the truth. I have people asking me to be their coach or their mentor in book writing. So I give them a simple assignment. You have a manuscript. I see several things that you can work on, improve. I give you the assignment. Come back to me. They never came back. So why should I mentor you? So that's the tip, by the way. General speaking, that if you want to have a good mentor, you must be a great
Ayun.
mentor.
Nako.
That's how it works.
Ang dami
Otherwise,
talagang inspired na mag...
I'll just be wasting my time on you.
Yeah. And, ayun, Tito. Also sa mga, punta po tayo dun sa mga kino-coach po natin. How do we generally deal with higher ups or rising people who tend to have so much pride in themselves that they don't realize that they have mistakes and shortcomings, and they refuse to listen to others' opinions. And by the way, Eleanor, si Tito Nelson Dion, nagkataon lang si Coach Ferdy yung co-host ko, wala. Ayun, kasi nagtatanong po si Eleanor eh.
Okay, that's a very good question. How do you coach people who would not like to listen to feedback? They're full of pride, etc. Here's the thing.
Matigas
Why should I coach
pao.
them in the first place? No, no, really. Here comes the counter argument. Why should I coach you in the first place? Because here's the reality. Not everyone can be coached. We call it coachability. Because the best combination is this. I'm the coach. I ask you questions. I'm committed to your success. But the coachee, the other guy, has to be humble, open to feedback, willing to do the hard work of thinking, okay, looking at themselves, and accepting feedback, for example, from your subordinates or from your boss, 360 assessment, for example. And then you'll be able to think of new solutions, new ways. So by definition, you do not, or as a last resort, you do not coach people who are not open to feedback. The very process of coaching assumes the other guy is willing to learn, willing to improve.
Wow. May tanong po si Hannah P. Nako, first year pa lang to, pero nako, napakatalino nito sa klase. Coach, when is the right time to speak and when is the time to listen? Nako,
Okay,
sa
that's
mga
a
kagaya ko
great.
minunal sa labi.
Thank you very much, Hanapi, for that great question. Okay, in the first
Hindi na ako
place,
minunal.
actually, Hanapi, it will be nice if let's say we have a conversation because I'm curious what is making you asking that question. Okay, but anyway, I'll give you my opinion. Okay, it depends on the context. Do you have something to say? Okay, if it's something worthwhile, for example, you have a solution that can help people a lot, or you're going to take a moral stand, then you speak up. But there are times when you have to listen, especially when you are you are basically on the junior mode and you pay respect. You listen to your elders, you listen to the boss, and you learn. You listen. The primary reason why you take more time to listen is to understand the other person, so that when it's your turn to speak, it is with substance, with sense. I hope that answers your question, Hanapi.
Ayun, nako. Salamat, salamat. And also, Tito Nelson, how do we deal with coaches who tend to be confused with what they really want and those who are lacking assertion? Oh, minsan ako, napuputot ang dila. Hello, Anthony. Good evening. Actually,
Hello,
Anthony,
Anthony.
si Tito Nelson di ito. Oh,
Okay, you have two great questions. One
ayun,
is about
nag-thank you po si Hannah.
you're much welcome, Hanapi. I do hope my answers help you a lot. And through let's say the pack or this usapan, we can also have conversations a lot more. Now, I think Coach Jet, you asked two questions. The last one is about assertiveness. The other one is what again?
Those who do not really know what they want.
Okay.
They
All right.
can't.
Yeah. Okay. So usually for the first one, actually there are two cases. So one technique is this: what kind of future do you see yourself in? Okay. What kind of person do you want to become? And you work backwards. Okay. So that's one way. So you have the have, the do. Okay. What do you want to have, let's say, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Okay. What do you like to have? I want to have respect. I want to have this particular reputation. I want to have this particular condo, whatever. I want to have good marriage, that sort of thing. And so therefore you prioritize. So what do you want to have? Then you work backwards. What do you need to do? And usually that already gives you the options about what to do. And then it may be, let's say, a certain career or decision point. Do I take this course or not course? Do I take this job or do I go abroad? What? Then that gives you the options. Then, and remember, in coaching, who do you have to be? In this case, probably it may not be a point about what decision to make. It may be that you need courage to make decisions. See how subtle coaching can be? Maybe the issue is not what to do, but rather have the guts and the creativity to do it. Okay, that's one. Then second is about assertiveness. Okay, usually it helps to understand what assertiveness is. And I think you have been in some courses like assertiveness is when you balance your rights and the other person's rights. If I'm aggressive, I'm after my rights, I don't care about your rights. If I'm passive, I surrender my rights, I just talk about your rights. I become like a doormat. I raise the white flag. Assertiveness is to affirm your rights, your agenda, and the other person. It starts with that frame. And then you may want to do the coaching wherein, okay, what is preventing you from being assertive? Oh, I'm afraid of hurting the other guy. Oh, so now, okay, so what about the other guy? All right. And then you may want to ask this: how would you now have this conversation without offending the other guy? And that's where you have created solutions that make you more assertive. And remember, communication is like a muscle. You keep doing it, even if it's small steps, and you keep doing it. Start with a neighbor, a friend, a colleague, and then you move your way up. I hope that helps, Coach Jet. And I think you disappeared
Yeah.
a while ago. Okay.
Ayun. May tanong pa si Hanapi. Coach, last one po. What is more important, security or privacy?
In the first
Baka mamaya
place,
may magtanong dyan, chocolates or chocolates?
chocolate or vanilla.
Ano?
Actually, Hanapi, I would respond that actually in a real conversation, I'll ask you, what do you mean by security and what do you mean by privacy? By the way, let me also challenge the assumption. You're thinking either or. Why not both? Can you have a situation where you have both security and privacy? See what I'm doing here? We're challenging assumptions. I can only choose one. Who said so? So you may want to do this, okay? What is more important for me? For you, actually, okay? Because I cannot tell you. I'm not you. I don't know what's driving that question, Hanapi, okay? But you may want to answer this way. Why am I asking that question? And therefore, hopefully, I'll be leaning towards one or two. But why not have the best of both worlds? I'll have both. And maybe it's a matter of balancing. Okay, I can have privacy, and yet at the same time, I'm secure. I'm secure, and yet I can move into my privacy mode. I hope that helps.
Ayun. So, talagang napaka-interesante po ng ating mga nagtatanong, and one last question po, Tito. Two last questions po. The second to the last one is what okay, in the next 5 years, okay, since may mga nag-rise na po ng mga executives, ng mga bata pa, what can we foresee in them in terms of their abilities, their decision making skills, their communication skills, and others, and also yung mga Gen Z, career professionals in general po. Opo, kasi ako generation M, millennial. Kaya lang puso ko pang baby boomer. Baby boomer, oh. Yan na ako kasi ugaling baby boomer. Boomer na baby. So,
All right. And I am Generation F, feeling millennial. Okay. So,
okay lang.
but actually, as I said, I'm a boomer. I'm age 62. I look 52. So it's a good question for Gen Z, or actually any generation at all. And at the root of it, from my experience, talking to them, observing, it's more like, what do you want to do with your life? And by the way, I wrote a book about that. Right? It's called "Is This All There Is? Why Purpose is a Journey, Not a Destination." Check it out in my website. And it's basically like this: we all want to make our lives count. Settle that, then you have an idea what to do, and then what to learn to make that happen. So, for example, do you want to, let's say, help other people to become better husbands, better managers, better teachers, or better students? If that is your goal, then you have an idea what to do. Do you take an education course? Do you sign up for a mentoring program and be somebody's big brother or big sister? Then what will be the things you need to learn? Is it like listening, advising, counseling, or let's say training? I train also. Okay, I train people in communications. I train people in, let's say, public speaking, writing. I'm not talking about book writing now. I'm talking about technical writing, business writing. And that's where all those skills, the soft skills, and remember, I think you know this, the top skills in the future will be, among them, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. So if you have those skills, you should be able to be in good shape. And it's not just for you. It goes back to that higher purpose you've decided for yourself. And that's where it's not limited to Gen Z. All of us, even boomers, especially at our age, we want to be leaving a legacy, and we want to impart something to the next generation. And that's where we are going to be in the point where We want to learn, and then out of that learning, teach other people.
Wow, ayun. Nako, nakakalimutan natin din minsan mag-collab. Kaya, at saka creativity. Nako, admittedly ako, sometimes pag ubos na yung brain cells ko, pag may pelikulang ubos na luha ko, ako naman, ubos na ang brain cells ko. Ayun, syempre, I realize na, of course, I should not rely on myself too much because I can gain ideas from other people, and I'm not shy anymore to admit that sometimes I need to recharge, yes, and I need to get inspiration from others, but of course not get their ideas, kundi di na ano na ako, di na bitay na ako ng patiwarek. Yes, and last po, Tito Nelson, ayan. Coach Nelson, eto po. How can people reach you if they want to tap you as a speaker, as a resource person, or as a trainer or a coach? Lalo na marami na tayo ngayon na mapopromote, executive position. Wow! Pero pagdating sa wow! Anong gagawin ko? Hindi ko alam.
That's correct. And don't forget also succession planning, because there are people who are moving up. Okay, so it's not just people on the top; those who are being groomed to go on the top. That's where mentoring comes in, coaching comes in. And so for people who are interested in my services, you drop me a line. It's nelsontd.com@gmail.com. Okay, Nelson T as in tango .com@gmail.com. That's my email address. Feel free to reach out to me that way. To learn more about my services, you also look at my website, nelsontd.com. And then last but not least, follow me on LinkedIn, okay? And also subscribe to my YouTube channel @NelsonTD, okay? Because I also have reels. I also have longer talks, which you can have a lot of. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that one. And then also my YouTube channel, please subscribe also. And that's going to be a big help along the way. So you can reach out to me through that particular email. And I'll also give you my number. You may want to contact
Nagpa-message.
0917-590-0212. You can simply Viber me or give me a message, and then I'll try my best to respond to you.
Yes. Yeah, message nyo anytime. Wag lang hating gabi tulog na si Tito Nelson.
Hindi ako call center.
Tulog si Tito Nelson.
That's correct. Thank you
Sa
very much.
tawag, baka mamaya. Alam nyo, McDonald's. Hello, McDonald's. Oh, this is Mr. Nelson D. I'm sleeping.
Sorry, this is Johnny.
And please do not forget to go to the website of Mr. Nelson D. Of course, don't forget the HTTPS colon
Yes.
/ Yes,
I'm at the Google
Nelson
because
TD.
even though- yeah.
And din nyo mababasa ang kanyang mga write-ups, and also his books. Yeah, you would get
LinkedIn.
information. Yes. Yes, at saka sa what is again your last message to those who aspire to be coaches, executive coaches? Malay nyo ako mag-executive coach, pero sa ngayon kasi kailangan ko pa bumalik ng gym. Ang estado ko ngayon, stage coach, bus coach, coach work.
Okay,
Ganon.
that's a great question. Being a coach, including executive coach or performance coach, whatever coach you're thinking of, the best start is to have your why. You're not in it there for the money. You're in it there to help other people to become better versions of themselves. When that is your passion, you'll take whatever investment for training, because you need to be trained. Okay, you cannot just be a coach just like that. Okay? It needs training. In fact, after listening, you have to be trained also. It can be quite a sizable investment. You need to have practice and feedback and time. But when you have this, you can also be a better leader because you're coaching your direct reports, and you can have superior performance. You can even use it in your personal relationships. Can you imagine a husband taking time to listen to the wife, and vice versa. And together, they work together instead of fighting against each other. So that's where my biggest tip: get your why, have a great passion to help people, and get the training that you need. And practice, practice, practice.
Yun. Kaya kailangan ko na mag-practice. Ngayon pa lang, wala pa akong asawa. Wala pa asawa eh. Kailangan talaga mag-practice. And once again, our guest for tonight, our very own, very own Filipino Chinese thought leader, author, inspirational speaker, and trainer, as well as coach, Coach Nelson D. Once again, thank you very much, and we are delighted to have you on board tonight. And we hope to collaborate with you in the future. Mentor Myron would love that,
Thank
and
you very much.
everyone
And
else.
thank you also, Mentor Myron, for having me here.
Yes, thank you, Tita Nelson, and to Tita Lucy. Thank you very much for watching, and also for the feedback. And you too, Tita Nelson. Thank you also for the feedback on the sound. Kaya kailangan sa susunod, titingnan ko kung anong settings. Kaya pala nag-live ako. Ang katunog ko hindi si Eduardo, ang katunog ko si Mr. Roboto. Oo. Buti na lang walang nagbato sa akin ng sticks.
Hmm.
Oh, naging Mr. Roboto na tuloy. Again, thank you very much, Tito Nelson D, for
Thank you very much.
gracing this night.
My pleasure. God bless.
God bless you too. And mga kaibigan, ako'y natutuwa, ako'y nasisiyahan that talagang marami tayong natututunan from our guest. And we have to realize that learning never stops. And hindi talaga maganda pag stagnant pa rin tayo, di ba? Hindi rin maganda pag tayo ay nagsistick tayo sa mga nakagawian natin. So, innovation is the best teacher. And also, naka, may comment si Lynn. Thanks po, Coach Nelson. I learned. Thanks, Coach Ed. Wala problema. Ayun. Mas masaya nga pag dito si Coach Ferdy. Sa mga napagkamalan si Coach Ferdy kanina, si Tito Nelson yon. Si Coach Ferdy actually, he's somewhere, he's giving training. So, ayun, congratulations, Coach Ferdy, sa success ng LMS. And hello also to your wifey. Yes, and everyone, please put this in mind. Words of wisdom. We can never learn until we commit mistakes. We can never learn until we realize from other people that we are imperfect. And we can never learn unless we decide to learn. Again, this is Coach Jet saying, let us all embrace learning because learning never ends as long as we live. And learning is there for us to become more mature, not only in terms of personality, in terms of career, in terms of finances, but also in terms of how we deal with different kinds of people. Again, on behalf of Coach Myron and Coach Ferdy, this is Coach Jet Ramos, Treasurer of Pact, saying good night. But before that, meron pala tayong ibabahagi dito. Yan. Di pa tayo tapos. Muntik ko na makalimutan. Yes. I have been a member of PAC for 6 years and counting. And, okay, the benefits of joining the Philippine Advocates for Consultants and Trainers are the following. We have training, consulting, and team building facilitating gigs. We also have customized learning, free weekly mentoring. We also have free member promotion and assistance in setting up your business. And we also have free ebook, a welcome kit, healthcare service, and many others. And above all, we get to learn from one another and we advocate for the welfare and the empowerment of every Filipino thought leader, regardless of kung trainer tayo, kung speaker, or consultant. Yes, and for more information about our memberships, yes, please do not forget to email us at inquiries.pact@gmail.com or secretariat.pact@gmail.com. And do not also forget to message us on Facebook through our page, Philippine Advocates for Consultants and Trainers. So let us make authentic impact together and let us be advocates for one another because the Filipino thought leader is unique not only in terms of skills but also in terms of attitude and perspective in life. Again, this is Coach Jet saying good night to all of you. Thank you for a very wonderful episode, Tito Nelson, Coach Nelson, and Mentor Myron, and Coach Ferdy. Thank you very much for entrusting me with this. Pero namimiss ko kayo. Mas masarap pag makakasama tayo. Ay, good evening pa sa aking kaibigan dito, si Ate Teresa Urbano from the country of Kuwait. Yes, hello, hello Ate Teresa. Mabuhay po ang ating mga kaibigang OFW. And again, wag po natin kakalimutan, for every day, do good. Choose to do good because we can never know when we're going to live. And God loves you, and so we must love one another. Take care always. God bless you.